And that, of course, brings us to the duality between science and religion and science and spirituality. These are held as separate things. In university, these are in totally different departments, having nothing to do with each other. This is a terrible, terrible epistemic blunder of epic proportions that has kept us literally in the dark ages right now with regards to our science and our spirituality. These two need to start communicating with each other. What is religion or spirituality but the science of consciousness? That's literally what it is. Yoga is the science of consciousness. But of course, when you call it that, many scientists, traditional scientists in universities, they object and they say, oh, Leo, yoga is so unscientific. Religion is so unscientific. We're the opposite of religion. Really? Dude, you've got more in common with religion than you're willing to admit. You're just as closed-minded as a religious person, only you do it in a university setting. See, that's your problem right there. Conventional science in universities today has no idea what consciousness is. Yet, mankind has had complete understanding of consciousness for over 5,000 years. How is such a travesty possible? How is it possible that mankind knows what consciousness is for 5,000 years, and yet our best universities today don't know what consciousness is? Nor are they even interested in learning from those traditions that are 5,000 years old about what consciousness is. That's how big of a problem this is. How about the duality between science and business? Many scientists consider themselves as having nothing to do with business. They're above business and above marketing. Yet this is a very ignorant attitude, because actually the university that you're in, doing science in, is a business. And there are very heavy corporate interests and forces, monetary and corporate forces, which are shaping how human science is done right now. Such that, for example, if it doesn't allow for a business to earn a lot of money, then they're not going to fund the research. And therefore, you're not going to do the science. Because you're a slave to the capitalist system. So see, science is corrupted by capitalism. Does science understand this? Does science admit this? Usually not at all, because that would take science down a peg. It doesn't want to admit, science doesn't want to admit that science is very biased by financial pressures and influences, such that the most important science that we could be doing right now, we're not doing because there's no money for it, because no corporation can market it to the masses and make a killing, make billions of dollars, or they can't patent it. For example, psychedelics are not being properly researched in universities because businesses can't make a bunch of money on it because it's illegal. As just one example. Meditation is not seriously researched. I mean, there definitely are universities that research meditation these days, but still not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. And that's because there's just not a lot of good money to be made from understanding meditation. Unless maybe you want to become a guru like Osho, and then you can make your 91 Rolls Royces or whatever he had. That's pretty good money. But still pennies compared to the billions that you can earn, for example, if some scientist does some research that, creates some new pill that gives you a boner. Okay, well, that's good science right there. That's what we consider good science. They'll fund that with billions of dollars. You see how distorted science becomes? And then those people who defend science, they like to say that, well, Leo, science is just the truth, man. It's just facts. It's not biased. It's totally biased. It's completely overrun with corporate interests. What are you talking about? There are so many things that could be researched by science that are not being researched because it is so biased. And you don't even know about it, and yet you hold it as the truth.